Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the New Byte podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey there. Today we have a special episode for you because actually we are not live today. We are actually recording beforehand because Emily and I we're both going to be very busy next week because it's the Easter week and everything. And so instead of just not doing a podcast or just having me playing some video games again, we decided we'll do another session on Sunday, which is today. So we still have some news to talk about. We can already talk about the releases of the coming week because they're set. So there's enough to talk about. So why not do it already on Sunday a little earlier? And you can have still a podcast episode next week, or well, right now actually. So Emily, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you, hostess?
I'm really fine today. Dragon Ball Super is finally over, and this is probably the last time for a long while that I will mention it here on the podcast because, as I said, the series just ended, and it was a fantastic episode. I just really love it. And now we have to wait like until the end of the year because in December there will be a new movie coming out for Dragon Ball, and it's still unknown if the series will even continue. But yeah, that's over, and that was really nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I was sitting here like 1 a.m. in the morning watching the Japanese live stream, and I couldn't understand anything because I'm stupid. I tried to learn it back in school days, but yeah, so I just saw the imagery and just assumed what they were talking about. It was really nice.
Were there no English subtitles?
No, because it was just a restreamed version of the Japanese TV show. But what I saw was really interesting, and especially the TV ads that they had there, hilarious. They are always so like excited and overpowered. Like really, it's another world. Japanese TV ads, they're really different.
Isn't it like anime?
I mean, they have normal TV ads, like for example for McDonald's, they had something with coffee. And they were just repeating the lines over and over again and saying "coffee's good" or something, and it was quite a thing. Okay. So let's talk about what we've done this week. Emily, what have you played within the past 4 days or so?
So in the past 4 days, I decided to do a live stream. Ooh, my very first one.
Ooh.
And I think it went very well.
That's good. I mean, I saw you for most of it, but you really seem to enjoy yourself playing The Sims 3, right?
It was The Sims 3, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself and interacting with the people who are watching me on Twitch. It was basically a surprise to myself and everyone around me. So it was quite a spur of the moment kind of thing to do. But yeah, it was so enjoyable. And I got really, really good feedback from it. So I'm totally going to do one really, really, really soon.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah.
It's always nice to hear.
I hope people like tune in for that.
Of course they will. I mean, the special situation with your live streaming setup is you don't have the best upload rate right now. And I personally thought the video stream looked good enough. It was not HD, but it needs it really. It was more interesting to see you interacting with the chat and having fun and talking a little bit about your expertise with The Sims. A really nice live show. And yeah, I hope you will do more of that soon, of course, as well.
I do hope so.
Overall, I could also play more games live, but I usually decide to rather write an article or to prepare another video or so. I would love to do more live streams. I just don't find the time for that. Instead, I do like content on demand, as they say. But it should come back to that.
What have you done this weekend? Past 4 days?
Yeah. I actually haven't played that much. It's really crazy how I was, for example, on Friday, I had work, and after work, almost immediately, I went out with friends a little earlier than usual, but because some of us had to leave also early because they were busy on Saturday morning. And so Friday, I haven't played anything besides maybe some PUBG Mobile in my break on my phone again. And yesterday I was just lazy, partially. I played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege again with Vidya Project, which you may know from our last episode of the podcast, and another friend. That was fine. We played like, I think 4 hours or something like that. Like really a lot, but we really enjoyed it. We had some really bad rounds, like we lost a lot, but we still enjoyed ourselves, and that is what counts after all.
4 hours is still quite a lot of gameplay, though.
Yeah.
Maybe not enough for your liking, though.
Sorry, what?
Maybe not enough for like what you like to play.
I mean, depends. I mean, I had other plans to play as well, but I just couldn't get myself to it. I just had to allow myself to be lazy because we're, at least since I work now full time in a job and everything, I really tend to burn out very easily and have to take care of myself to just not continue to work 24 hours. And so yesterday was a little bit of a lazy day and enjoying myself. And
fair enough.
On the opposite side, today I was quite yesterday I also posted the Fortnite mobile video in the meantime, so I played that, of course, recorded that, edited that, and everything. So I wasn't just lazy, but for the most part of it. Today, again, I actually worked and continued my work on the Wonder Boy video for Remaster weeks. It's almost at the end of March. I actually just wanted to do one month of it, and now we're almost out of that month, and I still haven't done one video in that series besides the trailer, and I'm really sorry for that, but I'm trying to do something new, something exciting, and for that I just need to question how I do content in general, and especially for that series I want to take my time, and if it's only one video per month maybe, with the other parts that I do on the side, maybe that's actually worth it, and you have also more fun with the videos. So I don't know. I'll see how it goes and just continuing. So I played a lot of Wonder Boy today to have assets ready from all the different types of games, all the different ports. And just also another thing, I did another podcast today with some of my German friends who just asked me yesterday if I wanted to be a part of something today, and I joined that. So if you follow me on my Twitter at HouseTest, you will probably hear from it. If you speak German or are from Germany, you will probably like to see that thing because it was really fun. It was not gaming related for the most part. It was more general. Later on, a little bit of gaming, but really a mixed topic back. Love that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had a busy / lazy weekend.
Yeah,
so
both like normal. Like it balances out, but it's good that it does. If it wouldn't, I work too much on some weekends, even though it's not considered work officially, but I just put myself under too much stress because it's probably the weekend, and I think I have to use the time that I have because already under the week I don't have it, right? So that's really weird. So I mostly don't allow myself to sleep for too long, just force myself out of bed to just continue on work on anything. Yeah. I don't want to brag. I don't want to have anything from you. I just say it like that, and I think, well, that's how the situation is. So I just want to explain myself a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right. So
shall we move on?
Absolutely. So for the news today, do you want to kick us off?
The Nintendo news.
Yeah, that Nintendo news.
Nintendo. So Nintendo will hold a Splatoon 2 World Championship. Championship.
Yes. So there will be a world tournament at E3 this June for Splatoon 2. And the other, actually, maybe even more exciting thing is the new Smash Bros. Game that will come to the Nintendo Switch will also be there, and there will be a Super Smash Bros. Switch Invitational. So that means if the people who will play it at E3, it's very likely that we will also get the released version this summer, maybe already. So people are already very excited about Smash Bros. On Nintendo Switch, of course, because every generation needs a Smash Bros. Game. And it's still uncertain if this game will be a port from the Wii U version or if it will be a completely new Smash Bros. Game, which, as we know, takes a lot of time. And, well, there wasn't that much time in between the two. It's just 1 year after the release of the Nintendo Switch, and usually it takes like 2 to 3 years. So there's
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, I mean, there's
different
not much
news?
that we can talk about that. Just, hey, there's something coming. So June
Yeah.
will be very busy, of course, and especially for Nintendo fans, very exciting to see what's coming then. All right, next up we have actually news about Defiance 2050, the game that most people probably know.
Ooh.
At least I heard about it. I haven't played it myself. We get now a remake, and yeah, it's sort of like a remake, an overhaul of the original Defiance game with upgraded graphics, textures, and resolutions. So yeah, most likely like a remake, really. And this thing now will get a closed beta on. Yeah, it's even PC. So on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, we can see a closed beta happening on for Defiance 2050. And just because it says closed doesn't mean that people are not allowed to report or talk about it. So it's still for the public to know about it, and we will see very soon new gameplay from that, and of course community impressions. That's actually something that I really like about this, because most closed betas are like, oh, it's everything under the cover. You can't say anything about it. You may see it, and you have to sort of have to. I mean, it's still up to you if you want to do it, but you should only report to the forums and the devs specifically, and are not allowed to talk outside of that. Like, I've been part in 2 closed betas and alphas this year already, and it's really exciting to me, but I'm more like a reporter about the things instead of a game tester. I'm not that good at it, which is why I partially just say, well, it's very nice that you offer me this option to do it, but I'd rather just have a version that I can also talk about publicly, because that's what I do, report about things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, with Defiance 2050, we can do that. And the first few impressions that we have here are actually looking quite good. At least I think from the developer update, which we have seen now in a new website, a new page, looks good. Sort of like a little, well, aged, I'd say. I mean, sort of still a remaster, so it's not completely new from the ground. But yeah, it looks quite good what I see here on this new developer update. I get some sort of Destiny vibe from it. That's really nice. Some giant monsters to fight against. Looking good. Yeah, again, that's everything that I can say about that, really. Haven't played the game myself, sadly. But for those that have, that's going to be exciting.
It is going to be exciting. It looks very good.
Yeah, actually.
Post-apocalyptic, right?
Yes.
Good.
Post-apocalyptic something.
I got it right.
Yeah, it's not like pre-apocalyptic, because that's right now, actually.
That's Sims 3 now.
Oh, very nice. Say, do you actually have like a new story to talk about? Because I really have to, dear people out there, I really have to say sorry, because on Wednesday I actually said before we start the cast. No, still, please. You said you had a story, and I didn't ask for it, and just went over it. And after the cast, I was really feeling bad about myself, because I'm a bad host, and I didn't ask about what you played. So, hey, since we're here and talking about story, actually, do you have a new story from The Sims? Because I'd love to hear about them. Don't get me wrong, I just sort of forget about that.
Well, the story that I actually had planned to do on Wednesday, I have actually forgotten. Oh well. It was something about my Sims having like ginger triplets or something.
Oh.
I was like, where did that come from? Just out of nowhere. So I'm currently doing like a generational thing with them.
All right.
And it was going to be about them, but I can't really remember the story, because I've done some new like gameplay with my live stream, and I haven't been able to play ever since my live stream. Yeah, people can catch that on Twitch if they want to.
Yeah, we're still having the past recordings.
To see my past recordings. Yeah.
We should actually save it then, because these past recordings are only available for 2 weeks. So our launch party, for example, is gone, we have a copy of that on our YouTube channel as a unlisted link. So we're not sure what we want to do with that, but on Twitch, usually we don't save our things because we already have a YouTube channel for the VODs, and for all the other live streams, we either save them or not. So if you want to offer this live stream that you did, the first one, we should actually save it for later.
I shall do that in the next coming days.
Alrighty.
If I can. But yeah, I've been really busy so far, and I've kind of forgotten the story that I was going to talk about. But
triplets, out of nothing, triplets, okay.
Yeah, like there's absolutely no lifetime rewards fertility, if you know what that means. No, okay. Yeah, so you get lifetime rewards and you can buy points. And I was going on about it within my live stream, and you can buy like a fertility treatment to either get triplets or twins. And that didn't happen. I didn't have that.
Okay.
So they just had triplets.
So in a natural way, without boosting or anything. Okay, that's you were really lucky then, I guess. The chances are probably not that high. I mean, they're not even high in nature itself, so only appropriate for a game to sort of mimic their chance.
Yeah, sure.
Interesting. You know, actually, I could talk a little bit about The Sims Mobile, because I played it also a little bit on the couch, and I noticed, like, I also played only a few minutes at a session, but I quite noticed, like, it's really very strict about that you have to fulfill the sort of daily missions, and you can barely do something outside of that without paying for it, because when I started the game, I actually was just interested in saying, hey, okay, that looks so cool, I have a bit of money, let me buy a shower, right? So I had a toilet, I had a sink or something, and then I just said, oh, well, give me a shower or something, and I couldn't do that because I needed a house ticket for that, which is yet another currency besides money and more money. They didn't have two different currencies in that. It's really confusing. And in order to get such a house ticket, I just have to work a full day. Which I was thinking, like, okay, seems fair enough. But the interesting thing is that you could also buy into that with your money. And I was thinking, okay, really strange. I mean, thematically, it maybe makes sense for a free game to say, hey, if you want to sort of play outside of the given rules, you have to pay up for that, because it's sort of a premium thing. But at first, I was really taken off by that. Like, wasn't sure if I really liked that.
I think you're forgetting who developed the actual game.
Yeah, I know. But it was Maxis, right? Did Maxis still develop it? No, I have to see it myself. Wait, yeah, it says EA Maxis. There we go. So it is that. It's one of these studios from EA that's called Maxis, just. The guys who already did the mainline Sims games. What's wrong?
No, I think everything just froze for me.
Okay, for me it didn't, so...
Right, okay.
For me everything is fine here.
Strange. Okay.
Shall we move on? Enough Sims talk for today, I guess. Yeah, because we have actually more news, of course. We'd just like to take some trips off the beaten path they already had. So, in more quick news, we also know now that for this summer we'll have a new expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online, which is just called Somerset. And it's coming on June 5th, and it will have an early access program on PC coming May 21st. And it's about the High Elves of Morrowind, apparently. I think. No question. Sorry, I think I'm mixing up the article a little bit here. I'm not an expert on Elder Scrolls things, so please forgive me. I'm just wanting to let you know if you're a fan and if you're playing ESO and haven't joined it lately, because if you play it right now, you probably don't know about the new thing, but there will be a new expansion for this summer.
Isn't Elder Scrolls made by Bethesda?
Bethesda.
That's it.
Yes.
Bethesda.
Yep.
Which also make Fallout, which is one of my other favorite games.
I can't wait for a playthrough of some Fallout game from you if you would do that. Who knows? There's still a lot of fans who just want to see people play Fallout because they like the game so much.
Yeah.
Who knows? Might be a thing that you can try. Maybe.
I don't get why there's not a Fallout 4 online version when there's an Elder Scrolls, when they're still working on Elder Scrolls, and they're not working on Fallout 4. I don't get it. They're probably working on some secret project. I don't know. I wish they are.
Most likely. Bethesda Softworks actually is not that many people, I think. The thing with them is that they're only growing very slowly and at a very steady pace, so they're not like getting in 200 people at once and have to lay 100 of them off again when the next big project is gone. So really steady with that, and I can only respect that. But that also means that some development progress really takes a longer time and that they can't do everything at once. Right. So, who knows? Maybe there will be a sort of Fortnite MMO or something, but again, to maintain that and to keep the update flow like constant for that, I think since they are the people who also did the Save the Single Player campaign, I think they just don't want to do it with a Fallout Online experience or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're really more interested in single player games, which I think is amazing because, yes, please, we need both of them. We need multiplayer experiences and single player ones. So yeah, I think that's why there's none of that with Fallout.
I do love Fallout. Shall we move on? We should move on.
Sure. The next bit of news that we have is actually that Fortnite made, for the first time, more money than PUBG. Can you believe it? They made $126 million in February.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, to be fair, here's the thing. Fortnite is, in the Battle Royale mode, a free-to-play game. They have lots of premium features. They have a season pass and all that, or what they call the battle pass, with different seasons in between. And you can buy lots of in-game stuff and all that just to have sort of cosmetics, which are, cosmetics are cosmetics, but doesn't change the game really. And really interesting. PUBG, on the other hand, is a $30 game. So I can see how, of course, PUBG doesn't make that much money anymore because a lot of people already have it. And now that there's also a very good free alternative to it, I'd say more people are actually more inclined to go through the free version instead of buying into PUBG right now. Especially since Fortnite runs just in general better than everything on PUBG. PUBG on PC is well patched by now, so at least on my system get good performance. But still, like, you can play Fortnite on any console, even on the mobile phones slowly now. So yeah, I can see how the more people have access to that, the more they can also make money, right? So who knows, if PUBG would also be available on PlayStation 4, maybe that would change again. Who knows? But yeah, for now, the numbers actually say in the article here, PUBG ranked in an undoubtedly impressive $103 million in revenue during February. And yeah, Fortnite just took over with earning $126 million. Quite interesting to see.
I think how they do it is because it's free, people get sucked in.
Yeah. And, sucking in and sucking dry after that. Just like that.
I mean, maybe they're turning into EA.
I don't know. I mean,
Probably not.
EA would ask for $60 first and then also get the microtransaction money.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
But it's also an app. So, I mean, the Sims 3 mobile app is... We're back on Sims 3 again. The Sims mobile app is free. And so is the Sim City one.
Sure. But on consoles, even Fortnite is free. On consoles, EA would ask like some money. Because that's what you gotta pay for the premium.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, we got on Sims 3 again.
It was relating to the story. That's always fine. But let's get to the next one, actually. That's something that I want to talk about because it also was something that we already mentioned. Yes, Zone of the Enders. Why do I have a lisp right now? Zone of the Enders is getting a remake for PC, and we already have the first trailer right here. So I'll just leave it in the background open so we can see it. But it's quite fascinating to me that now there will be a new game published by Konami, which is just another remaster. But especially for a game like Zone of the Enders that I haven't been able to play yet, I'm really interested to see how it plays out. I mean, it's another game produced by Hideo Kojima, the guy that also did Metal Gear Solid. And again, as we said before, we also played, we talked about the topic before, and now it's official, we will get a 4K remaster on PC. And it's called the Mars Edition. Funny enough, it's not like an HD remake because we already have an HD remake of that game, funny enough. And now it's like the second remake, sort of, or remaster in that sense. Because I don't think they have really repainted the textures on everything. They just have increased the resolution and sort of opened the path for a more wider system support, I say. Like some refined shaders, for example, as we can see right now in the trailer here. But the textures, for example, are not redone. So it's more like a remaster than a remake at all. But yeah, looks cool. I actually want to play it, even though I don't want to support Konami, so I don't know how I can do that, but
why do you want to support Konami?
Because they treat their employees like, well, shit. So I don't want to support that, right?
Okay.
But they still have all those licenses. Or on the podcast that was today, we also talked about what we want to see at E3, and I said just simply, I know it's lame because it's a remaster, but I would really love to have Metal Gear Solid 3 for consoles, the remake that they did only for those gambling pachinko machines. It looks amazing, and I just love the game, and I would go and pay for that in an instant, even though I would support Konami, which is really making me feel bad. I just wish they could have given those licenses away, but that's not how the world works. That's not how a business works. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Zone of the Enders, the second one, Mars 4K edition, is coming in September of this year. And yes, now we're coming. I just didn't mention the September date. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to EA. Yeah, we're going back to EA again. Yeah.
Oh, EA.
Yeah. So there's actually some interesting news that I saw. In other news, we also had that EA is working now on real-time ray tracing, which works only on the highest of high-end server graphics cards and CPUs. But what that just means that we have photorealistic in-game, so real-time rendering happening. So games will look even better in the future. Right now is, as I said before, reserved to the highest and best platforms, which cost like multiple thousands of dollars, and are usually more reserved for server systems. But yeah, so it's getting possible, and the more we continue on in the future, maybe someday we will also have it in our regular games. But what I personally found even more interesting is the news that EA is also now teaching troops in Battlefield 1 to play on their own. They use a neural network to train them, and we even have video material of that. So let's have a quick look at that here, and I'll just leave it in the background. And it's a very interesting video to see. So they have different colored boxes on the ground, which are just ammunition and health that the troopers can just get. And the network is just training itself to play better against each other in the standard TDM mode, I think. Or is it objective-based? I think it's even objective-based. So, yeah, I think that was even the point. The troops are just commanded to play against each other, so on its own, for to say. And they have to survive as long as they can. And still, while killing the other team, they also are inclined to play the objective. So yeah, that's quite interesting to see how neural networks are now slowly learning to play better. And why is that interesting to us? For one, it makes up probably for better campaign, of course, because, well, we're only playing against CPU enemies, of course. But maybe in the future, we'll also have better bots that we can play once the servers go down. So if you still decide to have a game and play, for example, Battlefield 1 in the year of 2050, maybe by that point we have good enough bots that will feel sort of natural to us, but they're just offline enemies that are maybe patched into the game later on. So yeah, the company called Seed is sort of training and giving the AI feature, and DICE, of course, is giving the game. So they both did this project together, and it's quite interesting to see how it played out. Yes.
So the next news article is about Tomb Raider, or the Tomb Raider trilogy,
Yeah.
and apparently the PC remasters weren't official and have been cancelled. Oh,
Bad news. Oh no,
yeah,
no.
that's bad news for the fans. Hoping, oh well.
Yeah, the first it was like reported like the mobile versions of those games were now ported back again to PC.
Yeah.
And now we know actually that these remasters were not even sanctioned by Square Enix, who are still holding the license of that. So, yeah,
Wow.
so it just got cancelled right away because they didn't apparently ask the studio that wants to do that. And yeah, so Realtek VR is now focusing on new projects involving augmented reality on iOS and VR on PC. We are not more committed on third-party license anymore. Ouch.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like really interesting. Like the news got out, like, yeah, Tomb Raider, the first 3 games are coming to PC as a remaster, and then we saw like, actually not. Just to have the guts to say, yeah, we want to do that. We didn't even ask for permission. We just go ahead and do that. And I mean, there's really no surprise that it's not happening anymore because Square Enix probably was also like not really amused about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that not happening. And well, false alert in that sense. Right, next thing that we have right now is just a quick topic, actually, is Destiny 2. Apparently, it's just sold for $20 in the base version. And I even saw comparable prices in Euro here, too. So, yeah, Destiny 2 is just not getting any rest right now. People are not really interested anymore in general. You can see that on Twitch right now. If people play it, it's just a few hundreds watching. Most streamers that made it their daily butter and bread to play Destiny 1 at least, they moved away from it, and it's just a little sad to see how early on Destiny 2 is just falling apart. There will be a big expansion pack again for this year, so in fall, as we already know from the financial investor call from Activision at the start of the year, we will get another big expansion. Maybe that can revive Destiny, but for now, it's not really looking good. So it's getting really cheap offers right now. And hey, if you want to get it and maybe invest into the future when you just have to buy the expansion pack, maybe that's worth it. But on the other side, maybe also you will get sort of a complete version, the complete Destiny 2 base pack with the 2 DLCs. One is still coming this year. So we also have another DLC coming for the base version of that game. And then there will also be the expansion coming apparently this year. I'm not sure how that works. So I hope that we get anything cool for this, but it's not looking good for Destiny 2 right now. And I'm personally, at least, I'm very sad about that. But who knows? We can't look into the future. We don't know if there will be a revival. Of course, Bungie is very interested into that, but let's see what will happen. For Destiny 1, at least, they also did the same thing. They released the base game very early on. The first DLC came out. Then there was a content drop that actually went on for far too long. The second DLC came out, and it sort of revived Destiny 1 because there was now a competitive PvP mode. And just a few months later in the fall, the Taken King expansion pack came out for Destiny 1, and that just made the game as legendary as it is today. Because with that also, a lot of good changes happened into the game. So the base mechanics and the overall quality of life just improved so much that actually Destiny 1, after the first year it was alive, just got really good. So who knows? I still have hope for Destiny 2. But for now, most of the people don't. So let's see what the next year will bring. I hope it's coming back. But who knows? All right,
yeah,
and
who knows?
yeah. I guess that's it for the news for today. I mean, we already said before we started, like, it's probably not going to be a very long episode. So, I guess, shall we move on to the releases?
We shall.
Yeah.
Shall I start off with Spartan coming on the Switch?
Yes.
Is that how it's pronounced? Yeah, okay.
I guess it's called Spartan for short A.
Spartan.
Spartan.
Yeah.
I think.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming on the Switch, and it's coming April the 1st.
Yeah, you play
What
as King
bitch.
Leonidas, and it looks like a more cheap Unity game, but I looked at the trailer and was thinking, yes, it doesn't look like the highest quality of game, but it still looks like as if the gameplay is good enough. Like, if the game still feels good, I don't really mind how much it looks like, so we'll see about that. In general, we just fulfill our promise to deliver the news to you, so we don't guarantee it will be good, but from the trailer that I see right now, I think it's good enough.
Well, it's on sale for $11.99, so...
Yep. And coming out
If
on
it's that
April
cheap.
1st. Maybe it's an April Fool's joke, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it's a Sunday, so usually on Sundays games are not launching, but apparently that one is. I'm just looking through the official trailer, but it doesn't say anything about a release date. Maybe later on.
Maybe.
I mean, it uses the Unreal Engine 4, so that's a proper engine, some people say.
Yeah.
And yeah, Spartan, that's the name of the game. And the trailer ends without any release date, so I don't know. Based on the releases that I saw online, this is coming out on April 1st.
Yeah.
Could be absolutely wrong. I don't know. Let's continue to a game that we actually know is coming out on April 3rd because, hey, the Steam page says so, and that is Minute. I don't even know what I have said here about that game, but it's coming out on April 3rd. It has no price right now on Steam. But from the trailer that we see, it's just really charming. Just a black and white game. Similar maybe to Undertale. The game is probably nothing like Undertale, but it's sort of the same aesthetic going on. Just letting alone see the trailer is really charming. And the text says, Minute is a peculiar? How do you say that?
Peculiar.
Little adventure played 60 seconds at a time. Journey outside the comfort of your home to help unusual folk uncover countless secrets and overcome dangerous foes, all in hopes of lifting a rather unfortunate curse that ends each day after just 1 minute. Minute? That's why it's called Minute. Minute is a collaboration between Kitty Callis, Jan Willem Nichman, Jukio Kallio, and Dominic Johan. So, a 5-person game, and for that, I mean, just look at it. It's really cute, and I just want to see him play it.
It is
just for
cute.
the aesthetics alone. Yeah, so that's coming out on April 3rd for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And I assume it's about $10, maybe. I'm just guessing. I don't know. It doesn't say here on Steam say.
It does look like a $10 game.
Yeah.
But I've looked at so many prices. The website is actually really cool for the Minute, like the official minute.game.com.
I will visit it. Let's see. Oh, that's just the dude here. Trailer PS4, Xbox, Steam. Yeah, so PlayStation 4 and Xbox, it says coming soon. That's interesting. Not much is happening.
Interesting.
I mean, I like that minimal design. That's really cool. Yeah.
It's simplistic, isn't it?
Yes. Quite charming.
It is.
All right. Then let's move on to the next game. Do you want to go?
So it's Penny Punching Princess.
What?
And
sorry.
It's you're right there.
I had audio on and was just surprised, like, sounds. Yeah, long ago.
And it's coming out on the Switch and Vita.
Yeah,
is
PS Vita game.
Still going?
Yeah, especially in Japan. In Japan, people are playing lots of PlayStation Vita games. So yeah, that's more like a handheld type of game, I'd say. Although it has a price tag of $39.99. And as you can see right now in the trailer, it has some pixel graphics and interesting comedy charm, I'd say. The story says here, long ago there was an era where when might meant everything, monsters threatened humanity, led by a tyrant who ruled through fear. But finally, a hero defeated those evil enemies. The law of the natural world was simple and absolute, survival of the fittest. However, Time inevitably yearns for change, and with the never-ending flow of capitalism, money is power. Money is justice, a world where even love can be bought with money. Ooh, some adult topics in here. Long story short, an era has come to where even someone at level 1 can defeat a tyrant as long as they have money. So yeah, that's the story of Penny Punching Princess. Looks fun. I can see myself playing this, especially on the Nintendo Switch. Looks like a good game to play when I visit my family and I don't have access to my full like console or PC setup. So yeah, maybe I want to take a look at that. Especially with the gameplay right now on screen. That's interesting. I could see myself playing that. And enemies are just basically dropping money all around. This is actually very fun. Yeah, so it's coming out on April 3rd. And yeah, coming to the Nintendo Switch in the Nintendo eShop and PlayStation Vita, actually. A game that's launching on PlayStation Vita. What a time to be alive. Do you want to talk about the next game?
Another game that's coming out April 3rd. A window PC game.
Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls Skyrim VR. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's coming out April 3rd.
Yep.
And it's basically the same game but with virtual reality.
Yeah, I mean you can play Skyrim in third person or first person the whole time, but now you can also play in VR with your HTC Vive. So having both controllers on the end and just use magic, or sword and shield, all of that is possible. And people are joking like, oh, they're bringing Skyrim everywhere, and they don't do a next Elder Scrolls. We just want to have the next Elder Scrolls game. I mean, for VR, I'd say I do an exception. Like, that's a really nice game to have in VR, just like Doom in VR that we already have, which is a little different in the story from the sort of base game that we already played in 2016. But yeah, Skyrim VR finally coming out to PC on April the 3rd.
For $59.99.
Yeah, the full price tag. And I'm not sure if there's any upgrade program if you already have the base game or Legendary Edition. So you just pay the whole thing for $60. But hey, you can play it apparently seated, standing, or even in room scale. So if you're running around, you sort of have, like, at least in your room, really feeling like if you're in there because you're actually moving around in your living room, for example. So yeah, that's interesting.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, just like the next game that we have here, and that is called Metropolis Lux Obscura. I haven't found any trailer online, so we see just the Nintendo Switch page here. It's coming on April the 4th, actually. And it's a gritty story. As you can see here, John Lockhart walked through the prison gates as a free man after spending years imprisoned as the supposed murderer of an old friend. He returned once more to the city where it all started, intent on figuring out who it was that framed him for the murder and make them pay in blood for the crime. Quite cool. It's a very adult game. I think I even have to, it's rated with mature 17 plus, and it only costs like $7.19 right now on the US version. Probably the same in euros, probably the same. Not much. From the art side, I can see right now lots of comic frames happening here, and some almost naked ladies. Oh my god! They were clothed, but barely. And it seems like it's a what's it called? Mesh-free game, where you just put three of the same icons next to each other. So that might explain why it's so cheap, because it's more of those match-free games. It's not like 3D adventure or something. It's just like clicking together the icons. But hey, that can be fun still. And if there's a good story in between, that might be worth it. I might just get into a review of it. Probably won't last too long. And if it's worth it, like fun gameplay in between of some good story, that's more mature. Especially on the Nintendo Switch, that can be really interesting. I mean, the Nintendo Switch has a touch display. So just putting that together with your finger on the go instead of on the TV might be really fun. Yeah, so have a look out for that. It's called Metropolis Lux Obscura, and it's coming on April 4th.
Nice.
Yes. The next game, though, is even more interesting, I think. Do you want to read it?
So 2064 Read Only Memories Integral is coming out on Switch April 5th. Unknown prize. Ooh.
Yeah.
So the Read Only Memories tells a haunting story in a stylish way. Ooh. Its diverse roster of characters, intriguing world, and masterful soundtrack make for an engaging experience from beginning to end. While there are some minor storytelling and structural hiccups, it's nevertheless successfully combines a classic genre with modern trimmings. Ooh.
Yeah, it even has voice acting from, for example, Jim Sterling, the guy that we talked about in the last podcast. Really cool. Interesting characters, interesting world, apparently, also based on the trailer that I see right now. And yeah, come out next week on the Nintendo Switch on April 5th for an yet unknown price, but I assume it's not that much, maybe $20 or something.
Certainly sounds interesting.
Yes, so 2064 read-only memories. It's already available on PlayStation 4 because the trailer that we saw was actually from last year, I think. Yeah. January 17th last year. The game was already on PlayStation 4 and it's probably also on Steam. So, yeah, it's now also coming to a Nintendo Switch.
So is the next one actually a game or is it a piece of hardware? It's a piece of hardware, isn't it?
I mean, have you seen the price?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so what we have here is the HTC Vive Pro. What's the difference? Well, the HTC Vive is a head-mounted display and is just a VR goggle. And now there will be a Pro version that will have no wire connected to it. So usually you have the whole thing on your head, a very long wire running behind your back. And now with the Pro version, it will actually run wirelessly while also increasing the resolution of the screen. So on the same area that they have with a viewing angle of 110 degrees, we'll also have a higher resolution, so it will probably feel even better. And the resolution is one thing. You also have a high refresh rate of 90 hertz of the display, so you have actually very fluid visuals going on, especially if you have VR. People tend to get more sick if they have sort of input latency, like they're turning their head and they feel it in the head, but the video is not turning with it. And if it's delayed, they actually cause some, well, they're not feeling good, the people who use it. Let's put it just that way. So yeah, that's coming out next week, April 5th, for 880 euros. And it's only the base version, so it's just the head-mounted display. As it says here, the Vive Pro HMD head-mounted display does not include controllers, 2 of them that you need, base stations, which you need to track the thing, so they're called lighthouses. You just put them in the corner, and these things track where you're looking at. And also, you don't even have the wireless adapter. So I think that's quite a lot to ask for, especially if you just want to get into the VR thing. On the other side, for the people that already own an HTC Vive, I mean, well, they don't need to spend money again on controllers or the lighthouses, but still.
Do you know how much it is altogether, or?
I haven't looked that up, actually. I don't think that there's a sort of way to buy a bundle right now. At least it doesn't seem like that here on the website, but yeah. But the main thing is, like, VR headsets are still a thing. They're still updating them, and yeah. But for that price, damn, I can buy a lot of games. Like,
that's
a
true.
lot. And I still don't know if they still haven't brought out the killer app that makes me want to have a VR headset. Like, I still say the most viable way to get it is for PlayStation 4. For example, Gran Turismo Sports, where you're just sitting in a car and driving around and maybe have a more immersive feeling. But that VR headset only costs like 240 euros, so way less expensive. Still expensive,
True,
but less. All right, so yeah, Just so you know, hey, there's a new version of the headset thing, and it's still expensive.
Very.
It was already the most expensive VR headset out there. Even the Oculus Rift was cheaper. Not that much cheaper, but I think like 150 euros cheaper. Yeah, I know, still expensive. But yeah. Hey, it's going on, and the people out there who are super rich who can just buy that on the fly, now you know. I don't know how many of them are listening to our podcast, but hey, maybe in the future, who knows?
Maybe. We can all dream.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We can dream.
we're dreaming right now. Urban Trial Playground.
Next game, yeah, sorry. Urban Trial Playground. I have the announcement trailer here. Looks really cool. It's not a Trials game, so it's not from the Ubisoft title, but it has very same looks of it. So you're just driving your bike around and trying to finish a race. Just top down or somewhere through a level and just have to make the best time while using stunts to continue your path. And yeah, it looks fun. Looks good. I will probably get it just because I'm so interested in the series of Trials games, which are sort of the trendsetter for that. And this is another developer which maybe has a different take on that formula. So who knows? Maybe that is interesting enough. And it's coming. That's the best part. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch, so we can play that type of game on the go for just $19.99 US dollars.
Wow.
It's not even that expensive, right? So I think that's really good. Urban Trial Playground out on Nintendo Switch, April 5th again. All right, and we have one last game, actually.
One last game, and that is Dead Ahead Zombie Warfare coming to Xbox One April 6th for $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
And it's resist against the undead in the new tactical survival sequel of Dead Ahead. Sorted the undead invasion in one of the funnest survival games of the year. Kill raid after raid of zombies, collect supplies, look for survivors, and most importantly, create your own legacy. Oh,
Yep.
Sounds good.
I feel like I've seen these zombies already, and I know exactly from where. Because if you're a Twitch streamer, you most likely know it. If you use Streamlabs to report notifications like a new follower or something, the standard follower alert is just a zombie walking around and underneath a text. And this zombie design reminds me exactly of the zombies that I see right now on screen here. So if you know that, you know exactly which one I mean. Really interesting. Maybe the artist who did the original like GIF of what the Streamlabs notification uses maybe worked on that one, or they stole it from somewhere. But I'm thinking positive, so I hope that the artist worked on that.
Or which one came first? Streamlabs.
I think the Streamlabs thing is there forever, like for years now.
Right.
I think.
Wow.
But yeah, the art style is just really reminiscent of what I see in there. Yeah, but it looks quite cool, like fun. Does it have multiplayer? Does it say that here anywhere? Available on Xbox One, right? Not sure. What awaits you? Blood and guts action strategy game with a sense of humor. Safeguard the boss and your troops at all cost. A huge world with numerous locations. Plenty of survivor units and zombies. Upgrades and special items. Stop the world and fun. Okay. Doesn't say anything about multiplayer. I wish it would be multiplayer. It would be a fun couch game. Just to sit down and shoot some zombies down. It really looks good. Yeah, available on April the 6th for $19.99 US dollars. All right.
Sounds like a reasonable price.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would hope that it has like at least local multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because that always adds to a game like that. But yeah, that's everything that we have. Wow, that's a podcast. And we just barely hit the 1 hour mark. So I guess we did our duty, especially that we are doing a sort of off episode 3 days earlier than actual. So usually we have like 3 more days to gather news or just to play games to talk about. But yeah, I hope guys, that you like this podcast still. And Emily, thanks for joining me again on this Sunday evening. Everyone out there, if you celebrate Easter, have a nice Easter weekend. And yeah.
Thanks for hosting House Test.
It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
and yeah, we still have to see what we will do after Easter. So on April the 4th. Yeah. Not sure what we will do there. We'll let you know, of course, on our social media, especially on Twitter and Facebook, of course, at the new Byte. And we are also now starting to post a few more things on Instagram, some smaller videos on things, on things that we're working on, some teasers, of course, and just fun, lightweight stuff. Like sometimes, for example, a 60-second Instagram video is just perfect for something that we have on our mind, a quick news update maybe. So that will happen on Instagram. Follow us there as well. It's also The New Byte. And of course, as always, check out our website, thenewbyte.com, and our YouTube channel, which you're probably using right now. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. YouTube actually talked about this week. It's really strange. Just some off topic at the end. Apparently, YouTube willingly is not showing people new updates from channels that people subscribe to on their homepage. You really have to go into subscription to see all of them. And if you want to be absolutely sure to see someone's update, you have to use the notification bell. It's really strange, the whole approach. They say like, oh, people are getting so many updates that felt like spam. But no, if I want to have an update from someone uploading a video on that channel, I want to see it. It doesn't matter how many times I see them. I just want to see that there is something, so I know I can go and watch it when I have time for that. But yeah, anyway, guys, so if you're on our YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you really want to make sure that you see the next video. Especially if something, for example, is coming from Emily. She's doing great stuff. And it's coming very soon.
I am.
Yeah, especially the live part.
Hopefully a new live stream will be happening soon. Soon, can't promise when. Probably a spontaneous kind of thing. But I will be, if you carried on with the last live stream, I will be carrying on with the family that I made last week. So,
all right.
Please keep updated.
I mean, there's also a notification system available on Twitch, so if you really don't want to miss any live streams that we do, you can also go there.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks guys so much for watching the podcast. My name is Ostist. Thanks you, Emily, as always for joining me, and we'll see you the next time when we do the podcast.
See you later.
Sure.
Bye.